Well, I mean,
this makes more sense.
Yeah, let's analyze the fight a little bit. So this is the second fight. Little different. First fight, Stipe won. At the time, Francis was just like a big, massive dude throwing haymakers, fucking just knocking out people, but don't know what to do and don't have no, technique and don't have no takedown defense, and you can't take nobody down. And he didn't know how to throw leg kicks. This time around, completely different fight.
He seemed way more seasoned. Like he knew what he was. I won't say he didn't know what he was doing the first time around, but he for sure knew what he was doing. He was more calm.
He was calm. He was picking his shot.
Exactly. He wasn't he was picking his shots. That's exactly the words I was looking for.
He got too big of muscle. If that boy starts swinging for a minute straight, he blown out. He blown out his gas tank. So the fact that he kind of preserved a little bit helped out a lot. But man, fucking, I feel bad for Stipe. People are talking a lot of shit, but he was fucking good. And this fight, there's no way he could have won this fight. Like the way Francis looked, there's no way.
He looked determined. He looked way bigger.
Yeah.
He just I didn't have no faith in him. Once the fight started, I had no faith in Stipe.
I see coming in, I was like, I needed to see how Francis looked.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch Francis' last fucking fight, he just came in swinging. He knocked the dude out, but he came in swinging, chin up, wide open. I was like, you can't go out and fight Stipe like that. So, and he didn't come out looking like his last fight, which is weird because his last fight wasn't even that long time ago. So he came out looking like a complete different fighter. As soon as he defended the takedown, spun him around, took him down, and then got him in the clinch, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. There was no way.
Basically hitting his head from the back.
Right. And I was like, boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh my fucking God, throw in the towel, somebody.
I thought it was going to be over then, to be honest, but he ended up getting back up, Stipe. So it ended up being a good fight for the first round, and then the second round came around, and
no, we just watched the fight again, and we just can tell as soon as the first round ended, Stipe looked defeated. He was like listening to his corner, and his corner was talking, and he didn't really have like that much, Yeah,
he didn't look motivated. He looked like He looked like he knew he wasn't going to win this fight, even if it went the distance. And I think that was probably his best chance of winning it if the fight had went the distance, but it didn't.
Yeah, but
he got rocked.
Yeah. Oh my God, this fucking shit. Okay, whatever. Yeah, no, he got rocked. I think what happened was the fight ended. Before the fight ended, he went from thinking, okay, if the stand-up doesn't work and if I can't pick my shots on the outside, then I'll rely on my wrestling. Once I rely on my wrestling, if I can take him down, grind this guy out because he got some big-ass muscle, he gonna tire the fuck out. And then when that happens, the same thing's gonna happen again in this fight that I did the first fight. He'll just probably choke him out, or he'll TKO him, or a ground stoppage. And so now he's forced to fucking fight stand-up, and literally Francis' power is ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never really, I heard of Francis, Ngannou, just as the casual UFC fan. I know who he is, but I never really watched, I seen highlights. I never really watched any of his fights. So when I sat here and watched this fight, and, you're not the only person that I talked to about it, and they said basically, he looked way different in this fight compared to his last fight. And when I heard that, I'm like, he looked like he was in there basically picking Miocic apart. It didn't look like Miocic was the more experienced fighter. It looked like Francis was in this fight.
To anybody who just barely saw Francis fight for the first time, Francis fought like an amateur with punching power.
So basically
no
like Deontay
hands.
Wilder?
Basically.
Okay.
But charge at a person, run and just swing for the fences.
That's the person to shoot. I'm not fighting him.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yes, basically, kind of like what Deontay Wilder, but the thing is, Deontay is like a little skinnier, slick power puncher. This guy's just big, bulky, going swinging for the fences.
He's more of a brawler,
right?
Okay.
So the fight ended how I kind of expected to end. Real fucking tough for Stipe. He's pretty the GOAT as far as heavyweight championship fight. But now this sets up for a fucking crazy fight. That if. So today, Jon Jones kind of got his Twitter fingers.
Hold on, wait. Before we get into Jones, do you think that they're gonna give Stipe a rematch?
No.
You don't think so?
Not yet. He'll get the rematch,
but it won't be the first fight.
It won't be the first fight. He's about to have a son, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna go have his kid.
Be on paternity leave for a little.
Yeah. He needs to be out for another year. Cause what happened is, as a fighter, you can only take so much damage. Okay, so he beats Francis in the first fight.
That's true.
But he took some punches there. Then he had 3 fights with DC. DC knocked him out.
In between Francis?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's probably gonna rest for a year.
DC knocked him out the first time. And then the second time, DC landed some bombs. But he won. And then the third fight, DC landed some bombs, but Stipe won. So Stipe chin has been tested within like the last 3 years. Within the last 3 years, off his fights, really, really fucking tough. So you can't expect a 30-year-old some man taking so much fucking punch. And then
he took some big hits in this fight before he started stumbling and getting knocked out. He took that head kick.
That
shit was nasty.
And the ground and pound for a little bit.
Too.
But also, this fight happened pretty fucking fast. Usually Stipe fights like twice a year. Once or twice a year. This fight he took so between this fight and his last fight, he was probably out for like 6 months, which is not a lot considering the last fight was with DC. That was a bone burner too. So he won, but that was a
slugfest. I think I watched that fight.
Yeah,
I think DC got knocked out the third fight, didn't he?
He did.
Wrong. Yeah, okay.
He did.
I seen that one then.
So this sets up the Jon fight, but now here's the big caveat to the Jones fight, which is really stupid because I agree with Ariel Helwani when he said. So I don't know if you know this, but Jon in the UFC has been butting heads for about a year now over his contract situation.
Yeah.
So he want to get paid, and they don't want to pay him at face value, at his at what he thinks he's worth. So they've been going back and forth. Him and Dana White ain't really seen eye to eye. Him and Dana White actually haven't spoke to each other for a long time. The way they get their contract negotiation done is Jon people and Jon talk to Dana lawyer.
That's not a good relationship.
It's not a good relationship,
especially if you are the best fighter in UFC. Technically, outside of Khabib, people would probably say Jon Jones is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. So I mean, that's not just on Dana. It's on Jon too. But that's not a good relationship I would want to have with my best fighter.
Yeah, no.
If I'm Dana.
Yeah. So what was weird was going into this fight. We're like, okay, we all kind of know it. It's not a signed agreement, but it's like a verbal agreement. Whoever wins, face Jon Jones. Saying that the whole time. Dana even said it. The one thing is they never figure out the contract. So it's like, why are we even saying this shit if you haven't even signed this dude to a contract that he wants? He's under contract, but he wants a new deal. So it's like, why didn't you get that shit figured out? And then once this fight ended, you could have just promote winner versus Jon. Rather, today, now you have a fucking angry fighter saying, tweeting shit like, please cut me already. Would you rather have me around and treat me like shit? I swear the UFC industry has been nothing but disrespecting for me. Just let me fucking go. And he goes on a tweet rampage of just saying like, hey, pay me. Where's the money? So it's just like, I like Dana. I like him a lot, but it's like, man, you gotta pay your best fighter, man. And I think he was asking. Okay, tell me realistically. I think he was asking. Right now, I think Jon probably pulls out about like $5 million a fight. Between
probably
like
more than that.
Yeah.
How much is Conor getting a fight?
Like 20, 30.
I think Jon is getting up there. He might not be getting more than Conor.
No. He came out. He said 5.
Oh, he's only getting 5.
Like,
that's tough.
like 5 to 7 or something like that.
Oh, that's tough.
When you add like pay-per-views and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was asking for 10. He was asking for, a double, something like that. It's like, I think he deserved that, but also the thing is, and this goes for artists, this goes for anybody. It's like, once you sign a contract, right, and you play out that contract, and then you think your value's up and are worth more, you can go back to the drawing table and ask for a new contract. But the thing is, you did sign that fucking contract to begin with, you know?
Exactly. And it's not even not what it is that with Jon Jones, but it's more like he did so much to get in trouble with the coke, with the PEDs,
with the dick pill. The dick pill?
Yeah,
don't forget
whatever,
the dick pill.
the Viagra, whatever the fuck he was taking. Like, he did so much to get himself in trouble. So I could see why Dana's
the DUI runaway, the jail.
DUI, the hit and run. All of that. So I could see why Dana is not trying to just like grant his wishes right away. Like, he's gonna make him work for it.
Yeah, no,
I think Dana's not an asshole. He's gonna make him work for it, but he's gonna pay him. But it's not gonna be what he wants when he wants it.
Well, actually, how it happened was Dana actually came out and was like, yeah, no, we don't trust, when Jones is like going through all his bullshit and trying to go back, get back to the cage. Dana came out and was like, yo, we don't trust him to be a main event. Like, what if we put him in a main event, then he go do some dumb shit, and then we got to cancel the event?
Exactly.
Because they cancel one event because it's his ass.
And that's a logical reason, like, for Dana to be what he's doing right now. Like,
right.
I'm not going to start paying you this main event money and then you go and get in trouble the week of the fight and now you can't fight because you in jail or got to go to court or something.
Right. And
I got to replace you at the very last minute for like a title fight, because that's usually what it is when it's Jon Jones. It's not just an exhibition. So it's like, come on now. Yeah,
I can see where John's coming from, but I can see Dana, because let's be honest, we all know Jon Jones is the greatest fighter right now. Yeah. But the thing is, he don't bring in the pay-per-view like a Conor. You know, so it's like the only thing he has going into a contract negotiation is, I'm the best. Everybody knows I'm the best. I'm the best. But then on the other side, it's like, well, I don't have top 5 pay-per-view numbers. I don't even think like two more in the top 10. And then I have all this fucking baggage. Mm-hmm. So it's like, like.
But see, Dana not stupid, because like, he asking to be released. Dana not gonna release him. Where Jon Jones gonna go to Bellator? He for sure not gonna get the same money he's expecting to get from the UFC at Bellator or at Pride or any of them.
No, he's not gonna get the same press coverage, and there's just not the same. Like, there's just not quality matchup. Like, he's
gonna be winning every fight because the caliber of fighters he's gonna be fighting aren't gonna be what it's in the UFC.
Exactly. So now, like, there's there's Jon Jones fanboy, and then there's Jon Jones hate. So he came out and say, show me the money, and then so now people online are calling him a pussy, telling him he's scared. What do you think about that?
It's Jon Jones.
Man, I was like, man, he ain't scared. This dude smelled hella coke the weekend before his fucking fight. He was taking dick pill. He ain't scared nobody.
Jon Jones has beat some of the best fighters, one of the best heavyweights in Daniel Cormier and all of these other dudes.
He's actually, to me, his records say he had 1 loss, but he's really undefeated.
Didn't it turn into a loss?
DQ.
Yeah, I was about to say he got disqualified because of the PEDs or the dick pill or whatever it was.
No. It was beforehand.
That was the
it was like against Matt Homo or some shit like that, like back in the day. It was like before he was even a champion.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So no, the DQ didn't happen by that, but they did strip his title when he got caught for the dick pill.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, they stripped his title. That's what I'm thinking.
The steroids and all that shit. But yeah, so I'm like, you know what, this motherfucker ain't scared nobody. Like, he moved up, bro. If you seen Jon Jones, he got yoked. My man got yoked. I don't know what the fuck he's been eating. He's probably on the Rock diet, eating like fucking 10 pounds of steak a day. But he's skinny. He's gotta change his nickname. You can't be called Skinny Bone Jones if you looking yoked as fuck. He been yoked.
You gotta remember, his brother a football player. So he probably just be lifting with his brother, Chandler Jones.
Chandler and there's another one. There's 2 of them.
That plays in the league?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know Chandler's still in the league, but I forgot the other one.
He played with the Cardinals, Chandler Jones.
Cardinals, now. He used to be with the Patriots. But he has 2 brothers. So yeah. No, Jon Jones not fucking scared, but who do you have if they're fighting?
Well, I'm a Jon Jones fan, so I'm for sure gonna say Jon Jones.
So you saying Jon Jones gonna fight?
Of course.
I
don't think he gonna just knock out Ngannou. It's gonna be a good fight.
Jon Jones kind of got paper hands. he don't really knock people out like that.
Yeah, he'll probably do
like
something.
He usually
to him.
knock people out by like head kicks, spinning elbows, more like a TK. But Jon Jones hasn't really been known for like a knockout artist type of guy. He hasn't really been knocking people out like that. So,
but he about to gain weight though. That's why with weight, with him gaining weight comes more power to his punches. So he might. We gonna see